Now that the Six Nations is finally back after what seemed an absolute eternity, we are finally getting to see France versus Italy. Are France going to come back from that narrow loss to England? Are Italy going to continue with that high energy and that morale boost that they had? I don't know. Let's break it down, right? So first of all, let's start with Italy, because Italy were just good. But I don't know if that was Italy was good or Wales were bad, right? Because Italy came in strong. They came in doing exactly what they needed to do. They played their game to perfection. Thomas Allen was just an absolute dynamo when it came to his kicks. Menoncello, a little bit of a quiet game, but same with Brex. But Nicotera had an absolutely stunning game. Um, Italy in general played pretty damn well, and I think that scoreline could have been much better. The Wales game was just very much, the scoreline didn't necessarily reflect just how dominant Italy truly were in that game, but at least Wales managed to get some points on the board. But ultimately, Italy dominated. It's exactly what I was expecting. They're going to make use of any single penalty, any single handling error, and they kicking. They're going for those kicks. And like I say, Thomas Allen was just a dynamo with his kicks, and I think he himself got something like 17 points for Italy by himself. So absolutely madness. And Italy are coming off of such a big high. They got such a rush coming through. They definitely have very good motivation, and they're definitely coming in with a boost to actually think, you know what? France, they lost to England. We can do this. We can put them to the sword and we can win. Because we've seen Italy, they love to play their points game, right? They might not necessarily get loads and loads of tries. They are very defensively solid. They've got a very good defensively solid foundations. Um, their creativity in terms of attacking can sometimes be their downfall, but they've got some absolute monsters in, like, your Nicotera, your Negri, your Ferraris. They have some serious talent, and some of them are leading in terms of tackles. They stop you in your tracks, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out, because will Italy, a very good defensively sound team, will they be able to withstand the French, bombardment? Just that free flowing attacking rugby that is just going to break holes in you. And if you give Antoine Dupont just any time of space and freedom, what's going to happen? He's going to make you pay, right? But this is very much the thing. I think if they pay too much attention to Dupont, that's going to leave players like Jalibert, Aldred, Boudahon space, time, right? Which is something you never want to do. The only way I can see Italy getting anything out of this game is by focusing on Dupont, by not focus on him. And by that, I mean, we saw in England what happens when you try to surround him. I think there was like 4 or 5 players surrounding Dupont. What happened? He took his time, cool, calm, collected, drew everyone in. Last second, poof, passes the ball off. 4 players out the game, right? You aren't going to phase Dupont. What you have to do is you have to find a way to suffocate him, and you have to find a way to cut off all of his supply lines. Because the moment Dupont gets into a rhythm, and we've seen this happen, whether it's for Toulouse or for France, once he starts getting into a rhythm, once they start working that phase play, where they run you over multiple phases and tie you down like that, and you see the ball go from ruck to, whether it's Miafau, Malvaca, Kroos, Aldred, Boudahon, whatever. They play that phase game, and then they run you out. By the time you are getting back up after a tackle, taking your breath and getting yourself back into position, you already need to be ready for the next attack because France are already attacking again. Very quick, very fast paced rugby, right? And if you are able to disrupt them, you might have a chance. And this is something that England, I feel, did very, very well. They kept players like Aldred, players like Boudahon, players like Jalibert relatively quiet, right? We saw the battle of the wings with Tommy Freeman and Ollie Slightholm, with Pinot and BLBRA. We saw the battles here, right? And we saw Slightholm getting up in Pinot's face. We saw Tommy Freeman causing BLBRA absolute nightmares, especially at the up and unders. So Italy are going to have to put in the same shift that England did. Otherwise, they're not going to get anything out of this game. They need to be in their face. They need to be making their mistakes. Now, yes, England undoubtedly did get a little bit lucky, especially in the first half, where BLBRA was practically free on goal, fumbled. Dupont was practically free on goal by the try line, fumbled. Jalibert literally felt like he was grabbing a bar of soap and things were just slipping out of his hands. Italy need to capitalize on these moments because I feel those were kind of freak moments which don't normally tend to happen that often. So any single thing, they're going to need to make sure that they are pushing those French players out, tackling them, taking them names, bloody jackling, fighting, just absolutely fighting tooth and nail for that possession, trying to maintain territory because otherwise France are gonna get you no matter what. And we've seen this with France time and time again. They got such free flowing rugby. They don't even know what they're gonna do until they do it. I feel Galtier, he gives the main guys so much freedom to kind of work their magic, right? That it can both be a good and a bad thing. But France are very good at hiding their flaws because of the quality of player and the work ethic of the players, right? So I can't see Dupont having a game like he had up against England, but if for whatever reason he does, Italy need to make the most out of it. They really, really, really need to make the most out of it because it's just one of these, fool me once, fool me twice. So it's going to be a spectacular game. I really hope Italy is able to actually come up with a good, solid foundation and manage to keep them at bay. But personally, I think France, they're going to pretty much go the same way that they did up against England. But I don't know why, but I have a feeling that Winnie Antonio is going to be rested, right, because of this island game. He's going to bring on Colombe because the guy's an absolute beast. He's got a set of legs in him, and he's a giant. And I find personally, I believe he had pretty good, solid performances when he came on. So I could definitely see a player like Colombe getting a start over Antonio, and then potentially Antonio going, coming in second half as an impact player. But otherwise, going Gross, Malvaca, Antonio, Colombe, Ruma, Miafao, and then having Kroos, Aldrit, Boudahon, Dupont, Jalibert, 11, 11 being BLBRA, 14 being Pinot, or another gut feeling that I have is Atisogbe to come in and then have Pinot come on at second half, or vice versa. Because honestly, I think Atisogbe he brings in a completely different energy than what Pinot does, and Pinot is one of the best wingers in the world. So honestly, I can't see him necessarily dropping, but I would be able to understand if he did because of the island game that's going to be coming up, and then potentially having Barassi and I forgot his name at 12. God, I completely forgot his name. And then having Thomas Ramos at 15. So I don't know. I can see them going a pretty straightforward squad, but this is Italy. I don't know how heavy they're going to want to go for this because obviously it's a must win game if they want to have any chance of winning the Six Nations. But might they rest a player like Dupont, which I highly doubt it, and give Lagarec a start, or are they going to start Dupont, monitor him over the game? And try and keep him injury free because Dupont is a kind of player that you definitely want to be playing up against Italy. You don't want to have him out getting any kind of niggling injuries or anything odd. So if they don't start Legarec, I can definitely see Dupont playing for 50, 60 minutes and then looking at the game and seeing, okay, look, we're winning. Dupont comes off, Legarec comes on, and that way Dupont has had game time, but he's also rested for that Ireland game because France cannot afford to lose anyone. They cannot afford to lose anyone, especially up against Ireland now, because Ireland are quite possibly unbeatable. We could definitely see them getting a grand slam. If they are able to get this win over France, I think they might as well just give Ireland the grand slam then and there because there isn't another team that's going to beat them. Because that means they would have beaten England, Scotland, and France. Do you think Wales is going to beat them? I don't think so. So, yeah, let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. Scary. Very, very, very scary. So, guys, comments section below. I want to know what you guys think. Personally, score prediction, I have 36-12 to France, but that might just me being a bit optimistic for France, but knowing just how strong they are, to me that seems like a relatively reasonable score, right? Because Italy's going to find it very hard to break down that French defense. And I mean, even England struggled to break down that French defense. So, and I believe England's backs are far superior to the Italians. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you think in terms of the squads? And do you think Dupont is going to get full game time considering next game is Ireland? Let me know. Otherwise, guys, look, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe as it really does help my channel grow. And catch you guys in the next one. Bye.